The world's biggest car wash cleans up to 300 vehicles every hour, washing, waxing, and drying in quick succession with only 30 seconds for each step. Humongous, situated on a busy highway and almost always jam-packed. Mr. Wash in Stuttgart-Feuerbach, Germany, is the world's biggest car wash. Here, on 15,000 square meter premises, up to 4,000 cars are washed every day. On top of that, the 110 employees clean up to 1,000 car interiors a day. On Saturdays, the pressure's on. Branch manager Frank Brockhaus and operating technician Muhammad Zain start the day at 7:30 a.m., an hour and a half before opening time.
We're extremely dependent on the weather, so with the sunny conditions we're having today, it's going to be busy.
When the onslaught begins, both lines of operation must run smoothly. To make sure this happens, the first stop is the technical room.
Okay, let's make sure there are no leaks and no pools of water on the floor. The pressure's okay? Great. This here is one of our two industrial water pumps. Basically, the industrial pump is there to recycle the water that's already been used as fresh water here in the facility. So we're not wasting it. Instead, we're treating it again, recycling it, and using it to rinse the vehicle's rims and underbodies and to supply the conveyor belt with water.
With a water consumption of up to 350,000 liters per day, this isn't just environmentally friendly, it also saves a lot of money.
This is our second water circulation system, the main water that we get from the city. The pressure here is between 3 and 4 bar, which is not enough for our facilities.
That's why custom pumps raise the pressure up to 150 bar. Muhammad Zain starts up the facility. But before customers are allowed to drive through the rotating microfiber cloths, Frank Brockhaus wants to ensure that the car wash facility is working without problems. For this, he uses his own vehicle.
So what we're doing now is a test run with a car. Everything before was just theoretical. For example, is the vehicle being measured properly? Is all the washing equipment being employed at the right time, meaning does it make contact with the vehicle correctly? Is all the equipment getting wet at the right time? And of course, will the car be clean in the end?
The conveyor belt runs at just 1 kilometer per hour. It takes 3 minutes to make it through the 50-meter-long car wash tunnel. Today, it all runs smoothly. During the test run, everything worked as planned, at least from a technical perspective. And Frank Brockhaus is also happy with the result.
For the first wash, that was pretty good. With more cars going through, the balance between the chemical washing agents improves. So the first wash isn't always the best in terms of quality, but it reaches the optimal level from the second or third car onwards, I'd say.
Now, the branch manager checks the interior cleaning hall, which has 2 conveyor belts. Are there enough cloths? And are the pneumatic cleaning guns working? The first customers are already waiting in line outside the entrance. Some have been waiting for 20 minutes. When Frank Brockhaus opens the gate, the wait is over. The cheapest wash costs €8, but the employees at the cashier's stand are trying to push the most expensive package costing €40, which includes interior cleaning and waxing by hand. First, the employees remove any antennas from the roofs of the customers' vehicles so that they don't break or get lost. In the world's biggest car wash, vehicles pass through a total of 15 stations. The first is a pre-wash spray, an alkaline solution of water and lye, which dissolves insect remains and pollen. Station number 2, a manual pre-wash with a high-pressure lance. It has 140 bar of pressure and removes the previously dissolved dirt particles on the front and rear of the car. Employees have exactly 30 seconds to do this. At the entrance to the machine cleaning area, the employees help the customers to slot into the conveyor belt via camera. Then they scan the customer's chosen package and clean the hard-to-reach areas on the rear. The active foam section sprays water and surfactant agents that are also found in laundry detergents. Up next are optic sensors that measure the vehicle. The length, position, and size of the rims are also taken into account. 2 pendulum rollers wash the sides of the car as well as the front and the rear. This is where the rims receive their first cleaning. Then the hood, roof, and rear are cleaned. Long microfiber cloths also reach crucial spots, such as in between the side mirrors and car body or around the roof rails. The cleaning agents play a particularly important role in the car wash process.
It's basically an interaction of different chemicals. We work with acidic and alkaline products, both of which fulfill different functions. Alkaline chemicals make sure that dirt gets broken down and dealt with, whereas the acidic products make sure the vehicle shines nicely and dries off properly.
Since the side rockers are difficult to clean, the pendulum rollers turn in different directions. After that, the vehicle is sprayed with a so-called drying aid. The chemicals break the water's surface tension, allowing it to flow off more easily. Next, a spraying robot removes the remaining washing agent from the car. Then, step 2 of the rim cleaning process, with 2 high-pressure rinsing sprays, 1 stationary and 1 mobile. A wax spray ensures that the water runs off the windows and body more easily. The last stage of the wash consists of 2 so-called spaghetti rinsers with cold and warm osmosis water, which is completely decalcified and demineralized so that no marks remain on the finish after drying. Lastly, the car is dried off with hot air at a temperature of 70 degrees Celsius. Reaching wind speeds of 90 kilometers per hour requires 10 engines, each working at 15 kilowatts. The facility's total energy consumption stands at 6,000 kilowatt hours per day, which is as much as 2 average households use every year. After 3 minutes, the vehicles at the world's biggest car wash have been washed and dried. The world's biggest car wash not only offers exterior cleaning, but also interior cleaning. The cleaning service on both belts is bumper to bumper. There are 10 employees working on each line. The first worker shows the customer in and scans their receipt. The next one places the rubber floor mats onto a machine to be washed, while the windshield and cockpit are cleaned. 2 more employees work on the inside doors and 1 more on the tailgate. Next, the employee uses a cleaning gun known as a tornador, which first sprays out demineralized osmosis water, which gets into all the little nooks and crannies. Then he switches the device to air drying mode. Soon after, 4 men with vacuum cleaners get to work on the interior. They must work thoroughly, yet carefully, in order to avoid damaging the seats and plastic parts. The last employee on the conveyor belt carries out the final checks, wipes down any missed spots, and hands the vehicle back to its owner. After exactly 8 minutes, the car exits the conveyor belt. The 10 employees who carry out the interior cleaning spend half an hour of group work on each car. The high demand is also fueled by the gas station on the ground floor of the facility. The gas here is always around 1 cent cheaper than in other stations in the area, which attracts additional customers.
Defective gas pumps are always tricky. We sell between 40 and 50,000 litres of gas a day. If 2 pumps break down, then that's easily 7,000 or 8,000 litres that we somehow have to make up with the other pumps. The result is that there are lines for all the other pumps.
Another magnet for the car wash, the oil change station.
Now I'm looking up the car through the code number, so I can see which oil and filter to use.
From under the car, the mechanic can also see on his computer which oil filter is needed and retrieve it from the storeroom. And from above, the customer can see on a screen what is happening below.
Fill it up, please.
The go-ahead for Mario Köhn to fill the engine with oil.
The amount of oil is shown on the computer. It says 8.3 liters. I'll fill that up and then we'll start the car.
Transparency is key, even with regard to the filling volume.
Your oil level is now at the maximum.
And the customer is satisfied. The oil change only lasted a quarter of an hour. If the customer would have had his air filters changed as well, he would not have paid for the extra work done, only for the materials. Less satisfied, however, were a couple of customers up above at the car wash. This means extra work for branch manager Frank Bockhaus.
We've just had 2 complaints from customers about their rims. So what we always do in that case is take a sample of the detergent to check that the concentration is right, so that we can assure optimal results.
In the Stuttgart car wash, rims are cleaned with 2 different products, one acidic and one alkaline, both of which Frank Bockhaus is now testing.
We have a little beaker that we fill with the water detergent solution and then add an indicator.
Until the liquid changes color and subsequently becomes clear again. Frank Bockhaus counts the drops of indicator needed to determine the concentration of detergent.
Right, so far so good in terms of pure concentration. What we always do now is to perform a little cross-test to measure the pH value, whether we're dealing with something acidic or alkaline.
To do this, Frank Bockhaus uses a standard test strip as well as a digital meter for the sake of precaution.
According to the dipstick, we're at around 13 pH. Let's just quickly check what the digital meter says, 12.8. That confirms what we've established here, which is that the pH value is absolutely okay.
The acidic solution also has the correct pH value, just under 1. Now, Frank Bockhaus tests the tanks containing the detergents.
We're running low on detergent here. We should replenish that pretty soon.
On a day like today, when around 3,000 cars pass through the facility, the world's biggest car wash requires some 400 liters of detergent concentrate. The owner of the car, which has just arrived, is a regular customer. He has already had his car washed and the interior cleaned, and now he would like to get his car's paintwork finish polished. He takes a short break while waiting. This employee has 15 minutes to carry out the paintwork treatment. He puts the polishing agent onto the machine and gets to work. The employee can only use the machine to apply the wax on relatively flat surfaces. For the harder-to-reach areas, he uses a pad to apply it by hand. Next, he polishes the surface with a microfiber cloth until the car shines like new. By 3 p.m., over 2,000 cars have already passed through the facility. In the technical room, the water softening system must be refilled. The system filters lime out of the water so that no calcium deposits remain on the outsides of the cars after drying. The system's filters require salt to soften the water. The water softening system needs 500 kilograms of salt every week. That's 20 bags. 1 in 3 car wash customers pays for an interior clean after the exterior wash. Customers who want to save the extra cost of 13 euros go to a ground floor area where they can find 48 complimentary vacuuming stations. The vacuuming hall is also the place where some customers discover that their cars still have 1 or 2 spots following the wash. Complaints like this are a case for technical manager Mohammed Sain, who retouches the vehicles.
This customer had some stubborn dirt like wax or resin. So I got it out with a bit of polish. And the customer's really happy.
And only satisfied customers come back.